Hello everyone, Mr.G here, welcoming you back to another episode of Monsters of the Mind. Today, we got an interesting one, because it's simultaneously both a famous monster and a monster that has basically nothing about it. Jackalopes are described as looking like a rabbit with antlers like a deer. Jackalopes don't have a ton of lore to them like other monsters, rather, there's more like a bunch of tall tales and old wives' tales about what they are like, whether they're dangerous or not. Some say they can imitate human voices, and some say they can only breed during lightning storms, but like I said, it seems like most places have their own legend about what jackalopes are and what they do. Now, despite being primarily associated with America, legends of horned rabbits have been documented even in Europe, illustrations as well, and not even in a way where they're monsters. They treat them like they're a real species, so I guess people just wanted antlered rabbits or something. The first jackalope as we know it came about in the 1930s when these guys put some antlers onto a taxidermied rabbit head and it was put on display at a hotel. This led to a sort of tourist industry involving people trying to capture jackalopes. I guess this all raises the question of why. Why are there so many tales of antlered rabbits? Some blame it on a rabbit disease that causes bony growths to grow out of a rabbit's face, which could be the source of the legend. But like gremlins, I do have to wonder if they were ever something that people unironically believed in. Now, horned rabbits, definitely. They were literally written about like they were real, but the jackalope specifically, I don't know. Just like gremlins, they're so recent that it's hard to tell if people are joking or not when they say they believe in them. Well, let's talk about two other taxidermy hoaxes. The fur trout is an alleged fish that has a thick coat of fur to protect its body. Now, this is ridiculous for a few reasons. One, fish don't have hair. They're not mammals. And actually, number two, in fact, in general, fully aquatic animals don't have hair. Whales and manatees only have a few strands of hair here and there. So clearly something about being fully aquatic makes you bald. The likeliest explanation of this legend is that someone witnessed a trout infected with a fungus that caused a furry appearance. And for probably the most famous taxidermy hoax of all time, we have the infamous Fiji mermaid, created by history's most famous conman P.T. Barnum. He claimed to have found a mermaid in Fiji and put it on display, but upon further analysis, turned out he just sewed the top half of a monkey onto the tail of a fish. Yeah, it was a hoax, but this is the same guy who would often pay to have fake negative reviews in the paper just to drum up business, so would you really expect any less of him? Well, that's all for this episode of Monsters of the Mind. This is a rather short episode because, well, these are more like statues than creatures. They're basically just art pieces that people ascribe lore to. And like I said, for the fur trout and jackalope, I genuinely can't tell if people unironically believe in them or if they're joking. Well, goodbye, everybody.